Greetings. For all those willing to pay attention, Mr. Monsanto got some treats and we're going to try to make it brief. This is the moon, okay? And it's examined through videocleaner, which is a forensic software used by law enforcement worldwide. It doesn't introduce anything that isn't there, you understand? It's a very extensive, multifaceted examination tool. I think it's unrivaled, and it's free. As things should be. It's the one thing that is as things should be, I think. It's one of the few things that is as things should be. Um, Now, this is just one substrate, one aspect of the various aspects. I have a few of them. They're not visible now as far as the tabs, but they're different presets. This is one. And what we can glean from this is I'll let it play through one time, unmolested. What we can glean from this are two things. One being that light which I'm filming, whatever's exuding, it's exuding and emitting is aimed at the camera that's recording it. It tends to be locked on the camera. And two, that it's emitting something. There's something coming from it. It's spinning, and that's three. It's spinning. Okay, and notice that there, even on my thumb there is a extensive fiber. Now, again, this is not going to introduce anything that isn't there. That doesn't necessarily mean what you're seeing is in the air. It could be something that's locked and beamformed, a program that is hack onto the camera itself, whether it's internal or it's just surface nano that is filtering what is really happening. It's mimicking what's really happening, if anything. But some of it's real, some of it's filter mimicking. And I don't think they ever intended for this to happen when they made this. Let's think of a name for it right now. This atrocity mimicker. It's an atrocity mimicker. It mimics the atrocity in an attempt to cover it up later if it ever gets exposed. What's being committed is an atrocity potential, and what you any kind of filter or non-existent optical substance or material is an attempt to cover up what's happening in the physical realm itself. So we'll call it an atrocity mimicker cover-upper. Not all of that which you see is real. In fact, most of it is not. This thing is meant to totally exaggerate what's happening so as to confuse and make questionable what you're viewing. Okay, it's a moving part generator, and it just like a narcissist throws moving parts in the air to confuse the situation and distract the examiner. That's what this does. It just makes moving parts so you can't focus on what is really at hand and what's pertinent. Okay, now you see that that's spinning and spewing. Spinning and spewing. That's the moon. It's being filtered. All light that is not controllable is and can be filtered on the spot. They've done it to me. I've seen it happen. Or they shut the lights off that are not simpatico to the system. But the sun and the moon are under extreme filtration control. And that's what all this spraying is about. It's about filtering this light, this omnipresent, universal lighting that we call the sun and the moon. It's about filtering it to control the emission from it. Okay, and to exploit the emission from it. They're using the energy of everything that's built into the infrastructure already, and that's why it's so negligible. We don't notice it when they tap from the energy. It's they know how to scatter their blows. It, this system is a absolute. It's an absolute wonder, marvel when it comes to scattering its blows, so it's not noticed. It takes here a little from here, a little from there, a little from here, just as it knows where to deliver uh, uh, its blows elsewhere. It can punch exactly where it needs to punch, and it can pull exactly where it needs to pull, and it can stay still exactly where it needs to be inert. So just picture a sphere with 1,000 points around it. Some are pushing, some are pulling. It has to go in a direction. Picture a ball with 1,000 points around it. The ball has to go in certain directions. This thing it knows where to push and pull and stay still in order to make this ball bounce or move in any prescribed direction. That's what this thing is. And as I described it yesterday, I've described it a few times like this over the course of the few months, but I think I summed it up concisely yesterday. It is the quality control system that determines where things break, this knows where stress happens at exactly the point, and it can then there mediate where it needs to. It knows where stress is happening, and it can determine where things are going to break far in advance of where they break, and that's due to like repetitive observations or whatever, and then it can then accelerate the breaking, the deterioration, the degradation, the depletion. It can accelerate that, so it can then delineate further about what makes things break so it can fix it. What makes this break? What makes Hondas so rugged and durable? Well, it's a quality control system such as this. They just break it, they beat the shit out of it, break it, and beat the shit out of it, and break it, and wait for it to break, and fix it, and beat the shit out of it, and fix it, and beat the shit out of it. That's why Hondas are so bad. This is the quality control, and it's also the manufactured obsolescence on the other side of the coin. This is two sides of one coin that controls. It's one module. It's a token among many probably in this whole system, but it's a main token. I'll tell you, it's the token. I would argue, it's the quality control on the heads, and then on the tails, the manufactured obsolescence that is a result of the quality control. The with the quality control comes floor scrapings. And with those floor scrapings, you get the manufactured obsolescence of reverse engineering things and basically making things to break. You see, you learn where it breaks, you can make it and manufacture it so it breaks where you want it to, when you want it to, technically, theoretically, rather. So the understanding this thing has about stress and where things are being stressed at what points, is absolutely astonishing. Um, and this can determine that on humans as well. Like this knows where to stress a human without notice. So it's not noticed. Exactly. Like so, it'll just in the manual, the gang stalking manual that was released. It says we can't do too much. We can't go overboard. This has to be chalked up to life's bad breaks, is what the manual says, and that's what they know how to do this. Anything where there's a little, they can extrapolate where and it's going to be a lot and when, and then accelerate it. So no one can say anything really. It's not nothing is out of the blue per se, even if it's closely examined in most cases. Okay, this thing is very, very aware of the push and the pull. And that is what makes up this world, the piston, the push and the pull. And that's why narcissism, they say narcissistic traits, we all have them. Without them, we wouldn't be here. It's a survival instinct mechanism built into us. The push, the pull. We know when the push, when the pull, when the chill. Okay, and when you're a narcissist, one or several of those functions break and just go out of control. Okay, and you know the switch is flipped, and the push and pull become erratic, and sometimes they become destructive, and to the point where you can't not notice it. And that's the narcissist, and even the narcissist doesn't even notice it. When that switch breaks, they could become so situationally unaware that they don't even know what they're doing is clear to everyone around them, who can see that they're being mendacious or being manipulative or being outright rude. The narcissist many times doesn't even realize that, and this has mastered the narcissistic aspect in one sense, I guess. It knows when to push, it knows when to pull, it knows when to chill, and it knows all the things that it occupies when what's being pushed, what's being pulled, and what's chilling. And it knows how to affect these things in either direction. And that is the moon. The moon is not bad per se. The moon is just giving us the putrid light that it does. Moonlight is colder than moonshade. Just an FYI, impertinent, irrelevant factoid. There's the moon, and there's the filter on the moon, and there it is spewing the fiber or electro-spinning the fiber, and then there's also the filter that is blocking it and trying to cover it up, that's obscuring it, that's making it look like it's a video game or something. But what's really happening behind that filter is an atrocity, and it's being covered up globally, worldwide, universally, from stem to stern. Okay, they're in your thinker, they're in your stinker. Make no mistake about it. They're controlling your bowel movements via neuromodulation, and I have something on that in a minute if I can get my bearings a little bit here. How to stop it, or how to impede it to the point where it can give you some time to get your bearings, and hopefully I don't want to give out any misinformation or disinformation. I want to make sure the information is solid, because they have workarounds. It wouldn't be misinformation per se. It would just be like, I tried that payday, it didn't work. Well, they have workarounds. They can work around a lot of this shit. And I want to give you shit that they really can't work around. And if they can, I want to give you their workaround and how to work around their workarounds. These people have been hard at work for a long time. Okay? And the Gang Stalker manual, the electronic control manual, I would love to see that. What we saw, it's on my page. If you look at if you search Gang Stalker manual, you're going to find the community base operator, and they're basically carrot and sticked and told, if you do a good job here, you'll get to be an electronic control. Call electronic control. They'll tell you when the target is leaving, and because they have special equipment, no, they have special equipment. It's brain-computer interface, mind-reading equipment, and intention detecting equipment is what they have, and they don't really tell the community-based operator newbie what's really happening. It's hilarious to read in certain parts of it. It's hilarious. I'm going to get a better shot of the moon later and other things. Forgive the erratic movements here. It's not even all me. Part of that is in the camera, but I could have kept it stiller. So there's the modulating Masonic moon outside of McDonald's. And that's some funny stuff happening right there. What's going on is what I'm wondering. Where's the EPA? Where are the local law enforcement people? They're supposed to be aware of what's happening. I mean, this is absolutely absurd to the point where I feel like I'm in some sci-fi movie that I've seen a million times growing up, where where you tell the people about their enslavement and the fibers on their face, and they want to beat you up, or they say, "Yeah, we don't talk about that here." I literally had that happen to me a few times. One with those words exactly. We don't talk about that here. So to the modulators, I don't know what you're going to do, man, but I don't see it. This is not going to be. History is not going to be nice to you if we don't see a few of you step up and do something. On the other hand, history will shine favorably on these assertions that I'm making here because they're axiomatic, undeniable, empirically substantiated without a doubt. There's something funny going on here. So if you want to make comments, snide remarks, that's fine. You're probably not even real. Enjoy whatever it is you're having. I'll see you on the next one. Um, you know, if it don't apply, let it fly. Lights on, rats out, and rape you later, Cape Crusader.